This video should help you be able to convert back and forth between fractions, decimals, and percents. You'll need a piece of paper out to take some notes. You might want a calculator as well to do some of our conversions. So the first one we're going to start with is to go from a fraction to a decimal. For example, if I have 20/25 or 1/8, how do I turn them into decimal? Well, try your best not to use a calculator. For example, for any fractions, if you can get them to be out of tenths or hundredths or thousandths, it makes it really easy because you know what 2/10 looks like as a decimal, or you know what 4/100 looks like as a decimal. So if you at any time can get them into tenths, hundredths, or thousandths, it makes it really easy to be able to do a decimal. So for example, this first fraction, I really know that this is 80/100ths. So right away I know that 80/100ths looks like that. I could also write it like 8/10ths, which divide them both by 10, that would be 8/10ths. So that's just kind of using your number sense. If it's hard to, turn something into hundredths like that, the other kind of shortcut or the trick is you want to do the top divided by the bottom. So you take our numerator here and we do 1 divided by 8. You can do paper and pencil. You can also do a calculator if you have it handy. I have my handy dandy calculator. So 1 divided by 8, I get 125 thousandths, or 0.125 is your decimal. Next, fraction to a percent. So we're actually going to use our same two fractions here. There's just one other step. Now if you ever calculate your grade when you get your test back, we always make you do this, turn your fraction, your score, into a percent. So kind of just a shortcut. Remember, top divided by bottom, which is how we get it into a decimal, and then you just multiply that by 100. I always remember times 100 because percent means out of 100. So let's start with this one right here. So again, 1 divided by 8 times 100. When you do 1 divided by 8 like we did before, it gets to be this, and you move the decimal over 2 places like multiplying by 100. So the percent for 1/8 should be 12.5. I'm going to get rid of this stuff. Hopefully you wrote that down. Top divided by 100, top divided by bottom times 100. So back to this, don't forget to label your percent sign. Here, I knew that it was 80 out of 100, and percent is always out of 100. I don't need my calculator at all. I just know that that's 80%. Alright, decimal to a fraction. Let's say I have 62/100ths. This is so easy, it's hard. Here's what you need to do. You need to say aloud. So say it out loud and then write that down, because what you say out loud is a fraction. 62/100ths. So 62/100ths looks like that. I always need to simplify it though. So this would be your best answer for that decimal. 62/100ths. This is good, this is equivalent. That's simplified. So say it out loud. Let's try. What if you have this one? Say it out loud, and don't say 0.7. Say 7/10ths. There's your fraction. See? So easy, it's hard. What about decimal to a percent? Pretty much, this one is, let's see. A couple things you can do when you turn a decimal into percent, you're really multiplying it by 100. The shortcut, this is not a math tip, it's just a shortcut. When you multiply anything by 100, you're moving the decimal just like that, 2 places to the right. So 1, 2, my answer is 62%. I can also think of this as 62/100ths, and remember percent's out of 100, so that works, 62%. Let's try a common mistake that kids always make. Let's say they have this. Sometimes they just put 7% as their answer. Boo, don't do that. Alright, so again, you want to multiply it by 100, which means you move the decimal over 2 places, so that should be 70%. And then you might run into something where you have a decimal in your percent, which sounds kind of weird, I know. Like if you have this, still move it over 2 places, and your percent would be 54.7%. It's okay to have a decimal in your percent. Okay, how about percent to a decimal? So let's say I have 30%. It's actually the opposite of what we just did. Instead of multiplying by 100, we divide by 100. When you divide anything by 100, the shortcut is you move the decimal 2 to the left. So 1, 2. So up here, 1, 2, my answer would be this. If you want to write it like that, that's fine too. Try another one real quick here. If I have 4%, turn that into a decimal. Don't do that. No, bad. Remember, move it over 2 to the left. So there uses my decimal, you need to add a 0. So the decimal for 4% should look like that. Because again, percents out of 100, 4 hundredths. And then the last one we have is a percent to a fraction. If I have 33%, percent means out of 100, so you just write it over 100 and simplify it if you need to. I don't have to simplify that one. 4% would be 4 out of 100, which is the same as 1/25. Alright, that's the fun with converting back and forth, fractions, percents, decimals, all that fun stuff. Alright, see you later.